Well, good morning and welcome to Anaconda, Montana. Bigfork Valkyries Volleyball on BFST Events on YouTube. James LaFontaine, JV running a little bit late. They lost that one 3 games to 2 in the 5th set, so we just finished up, wrap up with JV. Now the varsity warming up here in Anaconda, Montana, as the Bigfork Valkyries will take on the Anaconda Lady Copperheads in volleyball action here. So supposed to start at 11:30, and we'll probably start about 40 minutes late today for this volleyball match. But I did have a chance to sit down and talk with the head coach of the Valkyries. 1-1 on the season. Anaconda also 1-1 here. A non-conference Western B battle here, as the Valkyries will play 2 here on the road. After this, we'll head over to Deer Lodge to take on the Lady Wardens. That match gets underway, scheduled for 5:30, and we should be on schedule with that as well, hopefully. So I did sit down with the head coach of the Valkyries, Ariel Stalneck, and pregame is brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. What's keeping you from getting fit? Discounted guest passes, personal training, Pilates, a whole bunch more at the Montana Athletic Club. 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, Montana. 837-2582. Say hi to Doug and Nancy Malum and the folks at the Montana Athletic Club. So talking with the head coach, Ariel Stalneck, pregame, and I'll bring that up for her. And this is what she had to say prior to today's match, taking on the Lady Copperheads of Anaconda. Well, good morning. Welcome to Anaconda, Montana. As the Valkyries on the road here on a Saturday morning, getting ready to take on the Lady Copperheads of Anaconda. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, here on the pregame show for Valkyrie Volleyball. And here with the head coach of the Valkyries, Ariel Stalneck. 1-1 on the season, a nail-biter, 5-set win at Loyola. That was a good win last week on Tuesday, but then on Thursday took on Florence. A little different story. Talk about the 2 matches and what you learned about that, and just talk about that first.
Our game against Loyola was good. We took a win home, but we still have a lot to work on. And then we went up against Florence, and we just stopped playing an aggressive game towards them. We started getting a little too timid, and our first set was a great set against them, and we played hard volleyball, and it went like 26-24 or such, and unfortunately we didn't come out with a win with that, but it showed the girls that they do have what it takes. It's just a mental block that we're trying to get through. So it's the other side of coaching, not necessarily the skill side, but the mental side of it. So it's what we're working on. And we had a lot of good talks. We had a lot of the girls had a team dinner together, different stuff where we're hoping we could just keep some camaraderie going and get them playing together as a team and finishing the whole match.
Yeah, I thought you guys played, especially the first 2 sets against Loyola, came out really strong, and kind of gave it back a little bit in the 3rd set. But, I'm proud of you guys because you came back in the 5th set, even being down, to win that one. Mm-hmm. And then against Florence, like you said, the first set really came out. It could have gone either way. You had an opportunity to win that first set. I think kind of changed the momentum. Good crowd on hand that day for that game. The student section was great, and the fans there to cheer you guys on. And I thought you were going to pull it out, but then, you had one of your players go down. I think the air kind of went out of the sails a little bit when Zoe went down.
Yeah, that was more towards the end of our 3rd set. We were already, the reason she went down was already because we were playing pretty poorly. You start playing poorly and that's when injuries happen, is when you're not playing a clean game of volleyball. So our main thing is just cleaning it up. We have Callie back, a senior for us. She's our libero. So honestly, I kind of see it as a little bit of a clean slate. I know what we had going on in Florence and everything, but I do firmly believe that Callie is quite a contributor to our team. So I'm interested to see how this game goes, and then from there working on stuff now that we have a full squad back.
Yeah, it's good that Zoe did not get a concussion.
No.
So she's able to play today. And I was going to talk about that, Callie being back. So it kind of gets your people in the right place that you're used to, and then that keeps your rotations where you want to, and different kids on the floor for you in today's match against Anaconda. Talk about Anaconda. They're 1-1 in the season as well, and you played them last year. What do you guys got to do against them on the road here to come out with a win?
We need to swing at them. We need to hit the volleyball. We're good passers when we communicate with each other, when we keep our momentum up. I don't think the girls are totally realizing, and it might have to be an in-the-game moment where they really realize what momentum does for them as a team, because when we have momentum, they just play so much better, and then they let themselves come down. We lose momentum, that kind of stuff. It's different than just teaching somebody to pass a volleyball. It's the mental part of all of it is a whole different beast. But I do have a lot of faith in the girls. I expect to see a good showing out of them this weekend. I told them that we really don't totally know what we're coming. We're a full new team. We watched a little bit of film and stuff, but I said I expect to see them play better than we did even at Loyola when we got a win, and better than we did at Florence. Like I always told them that I should always see progress. So that's where we're at. And
he has some good players. A freshman, Ava Davy, is really stepped up for you coming up to the varsity. Plays JV, but then comes out and plays some varsity as well.
Yeah, I that's more of like a game time decision usually on if she's going to play for us, just because of we were missing Callie. We were kind of down to personnel. So I did have her come up. We'll see how she plays in her JV game. Usually it's pretty phenomenal before we decide on that kind of stuff. But, I mean, the times when I put her in, she made me look good as a coach because she did the job. So.
Well, yeah, got some varsity experience for down the road, and that's always good. It's good to have Callie back. Very good player, very smart player.
She's just a very vocal player. She's very vocal. She's very she'll keep momentum going.
Yeah, I noticed that too. The momentum, and you could see it in Loyola. You could see it in the Florence. They call it M, right? Momentum when that swings on your side, it seems like you're serving well and you're passing well and you're spiking well and everything's going well and you're running off points in droves, numbers, right? Rather than one here, two there, you're 5, 6 on a run, and it causes the other team to take a timeout. So that's good. We've been working on a lot of different drills that help us with that kind of thing. We're getting our momentum back, not letting them get runs of any more than, obviously you want them to get not even one, but we practice getting 3 side outs kind of a stuff and different things that I would like to see them incorporate into our gameplay this weekend. Well, we got 2 matches today, and we'll talk about the other one later, but taking on the Lady Copperheads, first of all, here in Anaconda, then we head over to Deer Lodge to take on the Powell County Lady Wardens, and I'll talk to you about that one after we get this match, see how this one goes today before we head over there. But I'm looking forward to the match. You guys have been fun to watch. I mean, even in the match against Florence, at times you played really well. So I'm really looking forward to today's match against the Lady Copperheads. And thanks for joining me on the pregame as always, Ariel. And go Vals.
Thank you. Go Vals.
All right, the head coach of the Valkyries, Ariel Stalnack, on the pregame show. As always, happy to have her on the pregame show, and got her on the postgame last time. This is James LaFontaine, 406-270-7384. Text me, let you know that you're listening out there, as the Valkyries, about 8 minutes or so, almost 9 minutes, and we'll get underway with first serve. Running a little bit behind the JV, won the first 2 sets of the match, then lost set 3 and set 4. And JV, we only go to 15 and 3 and 4 and 5. So couldn't quite pull that one out in the 5th set. So they lose 3 games, if you will, 3 games to 2. So being that ran long, it cut into when the JV or varsity was supposed to start. So we're running just a little bit behind here in Anaconda with the scheduled time for the Valkyries playing the Lady Copperheads. They're warming up and getting ready to go, and I already have the starting lineup, so I can give those to you. The starting lineup is brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods for all your grocery needs, including an amazing bakery and deli. 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork, 837-5010, open till 10 o'clock every night. Marcus Balgos, Kelly Balgos, and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Foods, always supporting Valkyrie and Vikings sports at Bigfork High School, dressing up on Fridays with the Bigfork gear. So starting lineups brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. First of all, for the Anaconda Lady Copperheads, the libero is a 5'4" senior, Malia Harris, wearing number 3. Also for the Copperheads, a defensive specialist, 5'2" senior, number 0, Kara DeMorris. The captain at 5'6", a senior outside hitter, number 1, Sammy Johnson. Also an outside hitter, a 5'8" senior, number 4, Allie Courtwright. A 5'11" senior middle blocker, number 10, Peyton Bailey. At 5'7", senior outside hitter, number 17, Alyssa Peterson. And the setter, a 5'8" sophomore, number 22, McKenna Patrick. Lady Copperheads are led by head coach Riley Shell, assisted by Matt King, Jared Schulk, and Kelly Crum. So for the Valkyries starting today, and we have Callie Martins back, which is good to see for Bigfork, and she's the libero at 5'7", and she's a senior, wearing number 88 in red for the libero spot. The middle blocker at 5'10", junior, number 1, Inga Turner. Callie's also one of the captains today. We'll drop down, wearing number 3, a sophomore, 5'6", outside hitter, Isabella Ellison. And then, like I talked about before, a 5'7" junior outside hitter, wearing number 8, Zoe Albert, also playing today as well as starting. And then a 5'7" senior middle blocker, wearing number 9, Alexis Sari. Her sister, a 5'6" opposite side hitter, wearing number 10, senior Ariana Sari. And then the setter for the Valkyries, today at 5'3", senior number 15, captain Mackenzie Holton. For head coach Ariel Stallneck, assisted by Josh Feller and Roxanne Reed. So that's your starters for today's match. Best of 5 here in Anaconda, Montana. We got about 5 minutes to go or so until we kick things off. 406-270-7384. Just text me, let me know that you're listening, and we'll see which Valkyrie team shows up today. They have the ability and capability to play well. So we'll see how they come out today, come out strong like they did. I mean, they've come out, talked about, they won the first two sets against Loyola, lost the next 2, and then able to pull it out in the 5th. At Florence, at home, good crowd on hand for their home opener. Glad to see the student section out and the fans supporting the teams. And they lost 26-24 in the first set to Florence. If that would have went the other way, things could have been different, but they did play well in that very first set, and then lost the next 2 out 3-0. Florence, always a very good volleyball team. But Bigfork 1-1 on the season, same as Anaconda. So Bigfork in their blacks with blue numbers, white outline for today's match. And for Anaconda, they're all white with the gray numbering and lettering for the Lady Copperheads. That sets things up for today's match. Here again, a non-conference Western B battle here in Anaconda, Montana. I'll be back with the national anthem here on 9/11 as I think back, and I'm sure all of you have today, on this day 20 years ago. What were you doing? And I'm sure everybody knows where they were and what we're doing on that tragic day, but it's time to remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice for our country and honor them here on 9/11. I'll be back with the first serve and more here from Anaconda, Montana. It's the Bigfork Valkyries Volleyball taking on the Anaconda Lady Copperheads here from Anaconda, Montana. All right, once again, good afternoon now. We're after noontime, so it's lunchtime for all of you, and it's the Valkyries ready to take on the Anaconda Lady Copperheads. So they're going to do the presentation of the flags, especially important for today, 9/11, 20 years later. And I remember back 40 years ago serving our country in the Air Force, so to honor those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. So we'll be right here when they present the colors, and the national anthem will stay right here for that, especially today. So thank you for your patience. Once again, welcome. And we'll get underway here shortly, running just slightly behind. Here, about 40 minutes behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the State. Today's contest is against the Bigfork Valkyries.
All right, we're at the Snake Pit Hit Memorial Gymnasium here in Anaconda, Montana. Recognizing the moment of silence here. In memory of 9/11. Here in Anaconda, Montana, it's the Valkyries taking on the Lady Copperheads. Snake Pit Memorial Gymnasium as the new athletic director, assistant principal, Dakota Norris, you'll know him from, or think of him, from Deer Lodge, is announcing the Bigfork starting lineup. 406-270-7384. Text me and let me know you're listening out there. And we'll have volleyball action here momentarily. The Sorry twins starting today. Mackenzie Holton, the setter. Also number 7 moving up to varsity, the freshman playing so well, Ava Davey. Are getting the game. Recognize some of the names from the Lady Copperheads. Just about ready for first serve here in Anaconda between the Valkyries and the Lady Copperheads as they finish up the starting lineups and get things going here in Anaconda. Pretty good crowd on hand here on the near side and the far side for this match. It's kind of nice. No mask mandate here, so that makes it nice. Here, officials today. And we'll get underway here from Anaconda, Montana. James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vice and the Vows. And first serve brought to you by the UPS Store. For all your printing and shipping needs, 439 Grand Avenue, Bigfork, Montana, 837-2002, including banners and posters. Brad Stoddshill and the folks at the UPS Store, proud sponsors of Viking and Valkyrie athletics here as they travel on the road. I appreciate them and all they do for sponsoring as well. So giving low fives to each other. We're ready to go here. And I believe as Coach Stallneck said that Anaconda will have the first serve here as we get underway and setting the lineups. As the libero Martin's in for Bigfork. Turner up front along with Zoe Albert. We got Holton, Martins, and Ellison in the back. Serving is the libero for Anaconda. First up, it's Malia Harris, number 3. Serves across. Martins digs it out. Mackenzie Holt setting it up. Martin's going to spike it across. Deep. Dug out that by DeMorris. Over to Peterson. Peterson hits it long. and out of bounds, and point for Bigfork. And a side out, so Zoe Albert to serve for the Valkyries, up 1-0. Albert serve deep, dug out by DeMorris. And then Patrick, spike down, dug out by Martins. Holton across by Turner, Turner deep. DeMorris digs it out. Patrick, spike down there. I believe that number 10, Peyton Bailey, up front for Anaconda. And side out to the Lady Copperheads. And we're tied at 1 early. Number 17, Peterson serving. Deep, Martins gets it to Holton. Holton setting up, spiking up. And out of bounds on the spike by Ariana Sari, that is, out of the middle. And a point for Anaconda. Peterson serves deep. Dug out by Zoe Albert. Over. Spike down off the block there by Ellison. Off the block by 22, Patrick. And that'll be side out, point for Bigfork. And Callie Martin to serve for the Valkyries. Martin serve in. They got DeMorris to Gallian, dug out by Martins. Martins will set up and spiked out of bounds there by Isabella Ellison. And side out point to Anaconda. Serving number 1, Sammy Johnson. Serves it, dug out by Albert. Holton. Albert spikes it across, dug out by Anaconda. Sets it up, 25 on the spike, Lunsford. Is it Holton? Spike down and out. Cross court by Ellison. And a point for Anaconda as they lead 4-2 early on the UPS Store scoreboard. 1 serving. Zoe Albert gets it out. That's Johnson serving. And spiked down by Ariana Sari at the block, and it drops on the Anaconda side. So side out for Bigfork. And a point. Newton will check in along with Jort for the Valkyries. So Jort, Alexis Sari, Ellison up front. Newton to serve, brings it across, dug out by Anaconda. Spiking down Lunsford. Lunsford hits it out past the end line. Manaya. And we're tied at 4. Newton to continue to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep, dug out by the libero for Anaconda, and she'll spike it back across. Zoe Albert. Newton going to set up. And over the block by Isabella. Ellison drops on the Anaconda side, and good for a point for Bigfork as they lead. Now 5-4. Newton continues serves for the Valkyries. Serves it deep, duck out by the libero. That's Harris across Martins. Newton. Jort with the spike. Dug out by Anaconda. Sticks it across. And just tipping it across is McKenna Patrick past the block. Drops on Bigfork side and side out to Anaconda, tied at 5. And number 10, Bailey to serve for the Lady Copperheads. Bailey's service. Deep. Dug out by Martins. Newton. Going to set it up. Sari spikes it down off the block and still drops it in. And a point side out to Bigfork, 6-5. The Valkyries lead. On your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Ellison to serve. Deep. Dug out by Harris. Sets it up. Off the block, dug out by, and spiked out of bounds by Jort. As Sari digs it out. And side out, we're tied at 6. Rolls all the way down the stairs, so they'll have to retrieve the volleyball. One of the players for Anaconda doing that. That's number 22, Patrick. It'll be Anaconda serve here in the first best of 5. And serving is Patrick for Anaconda. Cross. Martin digs it out. Newton spikes it up. Nice save. Zoe Albert gets it across. Spike down by Lunsford. And can't quite dig it out. A lift called on Bigfork. And a point for Anaconda, 7-6 they lead on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. And Patrick continues to serve for Anaconda. Serves it in the net, so side out, tied at 7. That's what Coach Stallnut talked about, stopping them, not letting them get on runs, Mr. Momentum. Alexis Sari to serve for Bigfork. Sari serve deep, dug out by Patrick. Across the net by Harris. Jort sets up and spiked down there by Inga. Turner right down the middle, 8-7 on a nice spike set up by Jort to Turner. Sari continues to serve. Oh, off the side of her hand. And she'll come out of the ball game as Martins comes back to libero. So Turner up front, Newton and Jort. Dug out by, gets it across as Newton. Dug out by Peterson. Spiking across. Martins with the dig. Off her hands, off the back wall, and goes over. And point for Anaconda as Lunsford will serve for the Lady Copperheads. Up 9-8. Lunsford serve. Nice serve right down the middle. Ellison can't quite control it to Jort. Out of bounds and a point. They go up by 2. It is Anaconda at 10-8 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Serve short. Dug out by Albert. Newton spiked there by Jort. Dug out by Patrick. Lunsford gets it across. Martins. Newton. And sticking it deep. Dug out by Lunsford. Lunsford's going to spike it back across. Martins digs it out. Newton going to set up. Spike down there by Zoe. Dug out by Harris. Inga Turner puts it up. Newton going to set up Turner. Turner going to spike it down, but hits it long. And point for Anaconda, 11-8. Lady Copperheads. Lunsford. Dug out by Albert. Newton going to set up Albert. Albert the spike. Off the net and falls in on the Anaconda side. So a side out to Bigfork. Mackenzie Holton will come in along with Ariana Sari placing Jort and Newton. And Holton to serve for the Valkyries. Down by 2. Holton serve deep. Dug out by Harris. Patrick kicks it across. Dug out by Anaconda. And they're going to call a double hit on DeMorris. And point for Bigfork. And then within 1 at 10-11. Holton to serve. Again. Deep to Harris, digs it out. Patrick going to set up. Court right, spikes it down. Dug out by Bigfork. Zoe out with a spike. Dug out by DeMorris. DeMorris will get back across. Ellison. Holton setting up Turner. Turner spikes it down. Back across to Martins on the block. Off the hands. Holton will set it up. Dinks it across. It's going to be out of bounds. And point for Bigfork as they'll tie it at 11. On an ace play there by Mackenzie Holton at the net, and digs it across. And all Anaconda could hit it out of bounds. Holton serving. Out of Anaconda. Spike down there. Nice job there up front by Zoe Albert. As the return right at the net. Albert to knock it straight down and lead 12-11. Holton continues to serve. And off the hands of Harris, it'll be a point for Bigfork as they lead 13-11, now up by 2. We go to 25 in the first 4 in a best of 5. Harris digs it out. Patrick sets up Johnson. Johnson spikes it into the net. Blocked by Bigfork. Returned. Holton going to set up and spike down. Drops down as it hits the net. Ariana Sari Didn't get all of it, hit part of the net, and that drops over. A 14-11 3-point lead as momentum on the side of the Valkyries. Holton to serve. Deep. DeMorris or Johnson set up to Patrick. Patrick spiked over the net, dug out and out of bounds by Turner as Holton's save into the net, and Turner can't quite handle it, and side out to Anaconda. 14-12 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard, and Harris to serve for Anaconda. Harris, cross. Confusion between Ellison and Sari, and it drops on the Bigfork side. Anaconda within one at 13-14, and Harris to serve. Service from the left side across, dug out by Ellison. Holton is going to set up Sari booms it deep. And out of bounds. We're tied at 14 now. Libero Harris continues to serve. Malia for Anaconda. Tied at 14. Ellison. Holton. Tried to get across the net and drop it on the Anaconda side, but it hits into the net, and point 15-14 Anaconda. Harris serve. Serve it to Ellison. Holton set up Turner. Turner spikes it. And Anaconda into the net on the spike by Turner. Attempted block. And that'll be side out point for Bigfork. And we're tied at 15 as Zoe Albert will serve for the Valkyries. So Albert deep. Back across to Holton. Dug out by Sari. Spiked across by Turner. Dug out by Anaconda. Anaconda spiked down. I believe that was by number 10, Bailey, for Anaconda. And side out point for the Lady Copperheads. Up 16-15. And serving deep. Martins will dig it out. Holton sets up Zoe Albert. Spikes it across. Dug out by DeMorris. Patrick dug out and put across by Johnson. Dug out by Bigfork. And blocked on the attempt by Ellison. But Zoe Albert able to get it across. Dug out by Ellison. Holton going to set up Sari spikes it down. Dug out by DeMorris. Harris across to Martins. Holton spike by Albert from the back side. Harris to get across. Dug out by Holton. Albert going to set up. And Ariana Sari can't tip it across to the net. It'll fall on Bigfork side. 17-15. The Valkyries down by 2 in the first best of 5. Serving is 17, Peterson. Dug out by Martins, can't quite handle it. Diving is Albert, she can't dig it out, and a point for Anaconda, and they lead by 3, 18-15. And Bigfork, the Valkyries, will take a timeout here. We'll be back with more of the first in the best of 5 here from Anaconda, Montana, as the Valkyries trail in the first one, 18-15 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. All right, we're back, and Alyssa Peterson to serve for Anaconda, up 18-15. Service across, dug out by Ellison across, spiked down, dug out by Sari. Holton sets up Turner. Turner spikes it across. Dug out, saved by Anaconda, gets it back across. Zoe Albert setting up Ellison. Ellison's spike down line goes out of bounds. And the Valkyries trail by 4 in the first one, 19-15. Peterson continues to serve. Deep, Martins. Dinks it across, dug out by Anaconda. DeMorris, Johnson, cross to Zoe Albert. Mackenzie Holton setting up. Albert spikes from the back row. Dug out by Anaconda. Ellison. Zoe Albert digs it out. Mackenzie Holton. And spiked down by Ellison. Dug out by DeMorris. Harris. Johnson gets it across to Martins. Holton. And dinked across the net as Anaconda tries to set up the block, but Ellison over the top of two Lady Copperheads, and it drops on Anaconda's side for a point and side out, and Martins to serve, trailing by 3, 19-16. Martins serve. Good to have her back. Johnson. Cross. Spiked down by Bailey as Galley sets her up. And side out point for Anaconda, 20-16. One, Johnson to serve. Zoe. Holton. Spiked down with authority by Alexis Sari from the middle over the left side. Drops that one down to side out point to Bigfork. That'll bring Jort and Newton back in for the Valkyries. Jort in the front court at the net, and Newton to serve for Bigfork. Serve deep, dug out by Harris. Golly tips it across. Newton dives, can't quite handle it, and side out to Anaconda, and a point. And 21-17. Looks like Bigfork will take another timeout here. Trailing by 4, 21-17. I'll be back with more of the first best of 5 in this matchup between the Valkyries and the Lady Copperheads. All right, we're back in Anaconda. Up front for the Valkyries. Jort in the middle is Alexis Sari. Back to receive the serve. Zoe Albert, Martins, Ellison, and Newton. And the serve by number 10, Bailey. Dug out nearly by Zoe Albert. And off her hands, out of bounds. It'll be point for Anaconda, up 22-17. As Peyton Bailey serving for the Lady Copperheads here in the first set. Serves again, deep. Ellison set up Newton. Newton's going to set up Sari. Sari spikes it down off the hand of Johnson, out of bounds, and side out point for Bigfork. 22-18 now on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard, and Ellison to serve. Serves it across, deep, dug out by Johnson. Over to Peterson, and into the net, Courtright. So a point for Bigfork, and Anaconda will take a timeout as Bigfork goes on a 2-point roll. They trail by 3 now at 22-19 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. So timeout for the Lady Copperheads, and I'll be back with more momentarily from Anaconda. All right, once again, Memorial Gym, the Snake Pit as they call it here in Anaconda. Ellison to serve and needs to continue that momentum for the Valkyries to get back in this one in the first. Nice serve, dug out by Harris. Golly. Got that spike down. Dug out by Bigfork. Oh! And sorry. And Jort can't quite get it up and over the net, and side out point for Anaconda, 23-19. And back to serve. It's 22. Patrick. And she puts it right into the net for Anaconda, right back to Bigfork. And Turner back in for the Valkyries. And serving is Alexis. Deep serve. Peterson, Patrick, and Luncifer dunks it across the block. Drops on the Bigfork side and game point here in the first one for Anaconda, leading 24-20. And Luncifer serving again for the Lady Copperheads. Service in the net and drops over. Hits the net and drops over. That's a shame. As the Valkyries lose the first one, 25-20, and had a chance there. So they'll change sides, and Bigfork will serve to start the second game. The best of 5. 25-20 in the first one on the UPS Store scoreboard. Coach's going to talk to them, need a battle back in there. I'll get your lineups here momentarily. Take a short timeout here from Anaconda, Montana. As the Valkyries battle the Lady Copperheads here in volleyball action from Anaconda, Montana. All right, we're back here in Anaconda. Yeah, about 1 minute left in the timeout, and trying to see. Looks like the same starters for Anaconda. Maros, Johnson, Harris is the libero. Courtright, number 10, Bailey, Peterson, and Patrick. For Bigfork, it's Ariana Sari, Inga Turner, Zoe Albert up front, Ellison, Martins, and serving is Holton to start the second for Bigfork. Service across, and Holton serves left side in the net and side out to Anaconda. Here in the first, and serving is Harris, the libero for Anaconda. Martins digs it out. Holton. Zoe spikes it, and out of bounds on the spike by Zoe Albert. And 2 points for Anaconda. And Harris to serve again. Martins. Holton's going to set up Martin. Martin's going to spike it across. Dug out by DeMoros. Patrick put across by Anaconda. Holton's going to set up and hits the antenna, so that's out of bounds as Zoe Albert tries to dig it out. And 3-0 early here in the second by Anaconda as Harris continues to serve. Deep. Ellison. Holton setting up Turner. Turner spikes it down, blocked up front by Bailey. Drops on the Bigfork side and 4-0 early. Anaconda leads. Harris to serve. Serves it and serves it out of bounds from the left side over to the right side and misses the sideline. It'll be side out to Bigfork, and Zoe Albert will serve for the Valkyries. On the right side, there goes Albert's serve. Nice serve. Dug out by Johnson. Patrick Spiked across and out of bounds by Johnson for Anaconda, and a point for Bigfork. 4-2. Albert to serve again for the Valkyries. Serves it deep. DeMaros set up. Bailey blocked by Turner. Off the block as Anaconda tries to dig it out. Diving on the floor is Patrick. It'll go out of bounds and side out point for Bigfork. Or check that. Point for Bigfork. And Albert continues to serve for the Valkyries. Albert's nice serve down the line. Bottom by Johnson. Patrick dinks it across. Dugout by Holton. Sorry. Turner spikes it and hits it deep over the back line. And side out to Anaconda. 5-3 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And 17 Peterson will serve for the Lady Copperheads. Deep. Dugout by Martins. Holton sets up Ellison. Ellison spikes across. Dugout by Harris. Peterson. Johnson. Blocked by Bigfork. Holton will dig it out. Deep. Goes Sorry. Dugout. And the spike by Anaconda. Mackenzie Holton out to Ellison. Off the block. Digging it out is Anaconda, and getting it across is Johnson. Martins will set up Holton. Setting up Turner. Turner spike. Off the attempt of Peterson. And out of bounds out across the end line. And point side out to Bigfork. Turner, nice spike there. And that'll bring Alexis Sorry back in. So the Sorry twins up front with Ellison. Holton. Martin serving for Bigfork. Martin served just short of top of the net, into the net, and side out point for Anaconda. 6-4. And Johnson to serve for Anaconda. Service across, into the net. Side out to Bigfork as a trade serves into the net. And that'll bring on Jort and Newton. And Newton to serve for Bigfork. Service. Her serve drops into the net. You throw that toss up just a little bit higher. Seemed like I let it drop down and couldn't quite get it over the net. And Bailey to serve for Anaconda, up 7-5. Dugout by Albert, but too close to the net. Newton can't get it across. And a point for Anaconda, 8-5. And Bigfork will take an early timeout here in the second. Can't afford to go down 2-0. And Coach Dahlneck talking to him about, hey, let's get together. Let's talk and let's play some volleyball. I'll be back here momentarily from Anaconda. All right, we're back. Lady Copperheads up 8-5. Won the first game of the best of 5. And Bailey serving up by 3, 8-5. Dug out by Albert. Newton going to set up Sorry. Sorry on the spike. Dug out by Peterson. Golly. Off the hand of Newton and out of bounds. And point for Anaconda, 9-5. And Bailey to serve. Bailey serve deep. Martins. Newton going to set up. Sorry spikes it down. Dug out by Anaconda. Newton. Jort. Going to set up Sorry sparks it deep. Dug out by Johnson. Over to Galley. Spike deep by Lunsford and out of bounds. And it will be side out to Bigfork and a point. And Ellison to serve from the left side. Ellison serve. Good right down the middle. Johnson digs it out. Galley. Spike down. Dug out by Martins. Newton. Martins gets it across. Spikes it down. Dug out by Harris. Cross. Bigfork. Zoe Albert dinks it across the block. Attempt by Patrick. Drops in on the Anaconda side and point for Bigfork. They trail by 2. 9-7 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Ellison a serve, left side. Drops it in. Dug out by Johnson. Golly. They set up Lunsford. Dinks it right in front of Zoe Albert on the Bigfork side, and point side out to Anaconda. They lead 10-7. And number 13, Cadence Lunsford in to serve for the first time for Anaconda. Serves it deep. Off the hand of Martins. Over the back line, out of bounds, and a point for Anaconda. 11-7 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. And Lunsford. Cadence will serve again. Deep into the net by Cadence. And side out to Bigfork. And Martins comes out. Turner in the front line for Bigfork and serving Alexis Sari. Deep. Dug out by Anaconda. Spikes it across. Newton will set up Turner. Turner spikes it out of bounds. And Martins will replace Alexis Sari on the back line. 12-8. Anaconda leads here. Lunsford serving. Dug out. Newton. Martins gets it across. Dug out by Courtright. Set up Johnson. Dug out by Martins for Bigfork. Newton crossed by Martins in the middle. Into the net. They can't. And they're going to call a lift on Anaconda. And side out to Bigfork. 12-9. As DeMorris comes back in for Anaconda. Ariana Sari along with Mackenzie Holton. Holton served for Bigfork back in. Dug out by Johnson. Blocked by Patrick is by Albert. Martins digs it out. Albert gets it across for Bigfork. Anaconda. Lunsford. Blocked there on the spike attempt by Peterson. And then hitting it deep and out of bounds is Courtright. The left side. It'll be Bigfork point 10-12 as Holton serves. Drops it in. Dug out by Johnson. Peterson. Johnson gets it across. Zoe sets up Sari. Sari gets it across. Dug out by Harris. Holton tips it. Martin was right behind her. She lets it go. Callie gets it before it hits the end line. But Holton tips it out of bounds. And side out to Anaconda. 13-10. 3. Harris serves. Libero spike down by Ellison. Dug out by DeMorris. And Patrick. Johnson gets it across for Anaconda. Dug out by Bigfork. And they said Bigfork was underneath the net, so a point for Anaconda. 14-10 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And Harris to serve for Anaconda. Albert Holton setting up and dropped down there by Inga Turner, and a point side out to Bigfork. Zoe Albert will serve. 14-11. Bigfork trails by 3 here in the second. Albert serves. Nice deep serve by Johnson. Patrick. Put across by Peterson. Dug out by Bigfork. Inga Turner spikes it. Dug out by Bailey. Mackenzie Holton setting up Turner again. Turner gets it across. Dug out by Johnson. And Patrick puts it where Bigfork's not, in the back left corner. Drops in for side out point. Anaconda 15-11. Peterson to serve. Into the net. Alyssa Peterson. Side out point for Bigfork. They're within 3, 15-12. Golly will come in for Peterson, and Martin to serve for the Valkyries. Martin's nice deep serve. Dug out by DeMorris. Mackenzie Holton digs it out. Ellison hits it deep, dug out by DeMorris. Golly's going to set up Johnson. Johnson deep, dug out by Bigfork. And the spike down by Anaconda, knocked out of bounds by Bigfork, and a point for Anaconda as Johnson will serve 16-12. Service. Zoe Albert digs it out. Mackenzie Holton, spike down there by Ellison, dug out by Harris. And spike down by 22, Patrick. 17-12 on UPS Store scoreboard. Valkyries trail in the second, and timeout taken by the Valkyries. We'll be back with more of game number 2, best of 5. Well, some work to do for the Valkyries. They trail by 5, 17-12. Really tough to go down by 2 here. And up the battle back as Johnson serves for Anaconda, up by 5. Need a side out. Ellison. Holton tips it across. Dug up by Lunsford. Golly. Harris going to spike it across. Blocked by Bigfork. And they're going to call a lift there on Bailey. And Bigfork gets the side out. Newton and Jort come back in. And within 4, 17-13, they need to go and grab Mr. Momentum and go on a roll as Newton serves deep. Dug out by Johnson. Golly going to set up Lunsford. Lunsford tips it across. Dug out by Ellison, but goes out of bounds. And point side out to Anaconda. 18-13, the Lady Copperheads lead in game number 2, best of 5. And Bailey to serve for Anaconda. Deep. Martin digs it out. Newton going to set up Jort. Jort spikes it off the block. Dug out by Lunsford into the net. And they're going to call a lift on Anaconda. And side out to Bigfork. 18-14. Ellison to serve from the left side for Bigfork. Nice serve, drops it in. Lunsford. Galley gets it across. Martins. Newton back set. Spikes it. Does Jort. The block there by Anaconda and drops just barely over the net as, or check that, Alexis Sari's on the spike. Tops it across. Side out to Anaconda. And 13. Cadence Lunsford will serve for the Lady Copperheads. Serve deep, about 2 feet behind the end line and out of bounds. And Alexis Sari will serve for the Valkyries, trailing by 4, 19-15. They need to go on a little bit of a roll right here. And Sari to start that off. Nice serve, gets it across the net, dug out there by Johnson. Harris gets it across, dug out. And out of bounds by Sari as she dives and goes across the net, but out of bounds. Point side out to Anaconda, up by 5, 20-15. Lunsford serves it, dug out by Zoe Albert. Newton. Zoe just has to get it back across. Patrick going to set up and dropping it across is Peterson for Anaconda behind the block. 21-15, down by 6 of the Valkyries here in game number 2. Nia Lunsford, hard serve right into the net, and she'll come out, replaced by Kara DeMoros, for Anaconda. 21-16. Holton will come in to serve. Turner back in. The Sorry twins up front. Mackenzie Holton, nice serve right down the middle. Johnson digs it out. Patrick. Johnson. Dug out. Martin's able to get it back across as a save by Ellison. Patrick's going to set up Johnson. Ellison. Mackenzie Holton going to set up and dropped across by Bigfork. Zoe Albert. And Johnson can't quite get it across for Anaconda and stays on their side for a point and side out Bigfork. 21-17. Or not side out, continue to serve as Holton. 21-17 service. Harris digs it out. Patrick. Block. Dug out by Ellison. Nice dig. Mackenzie Holton setting up Zoe Albert. Zoe Albert spikes it into the hands of Courtright, and she hangs onto it, drops on the Anaconda side. And the Valkyries within 3, a little momentum, and Anaconda will take a timeout as Bigfork cuts the lead in half to 3, which was 6 at 21-15. Now they trail 21-18, and Holton continued to serve for Bigfork here in Anaconda, Montana. Once again, James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes, the with you. 406-270-7384. If you're listening, you can text me. I'll give you a shout out there. We'll stay right here. We got 30 seconds left in the timeout, and momentum on Bigfork's side right now. They need to continue that and get this game back here so they don't go down 2-0. Holton continues to serve for Bigfork. Martin's in the middle, libero. Isabella Ellison in the back. Inga Turn in the middle, and you have Zoe Albert and Ariana Sari up front. Holton serve deep. Dug out there by DeMorris. Patrick sets up Peterson. Peterson drops it across. And Sari can't quite get there. Side out 22-18 for Anaconda. So Bigfork can't quite get over that hump. Serving is Harris, libero. Drops it across. Martin, nice dig. Sets up Inga Turner. Drops it on the end line with a nice spike right down the middle. And side out point for Bigfork, 22-19. That'll bring Zoe Albert back to serve for the Valkyries. Her service on the way. Deep duck out by DeMorris. Patrick sets up. That ball, I believe, was going out of bounds, and McKenzie went and hit it and knocked it out of bounds, and point for side out to Anaconda. And Peterson will serve for the Lady Copperheads. Peterson, deep. Ellison, Holton, sets up Turner. Turner spike off the block. DeMoros. Patrick gets it across. Dug out by Bigfork. Down the middle. DeMoros. Patrick going to set up. Off the hands of Martins on the spike there by Bailey. And game point in number 2 for Anaconda as they lead 24-19 on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. And Peterson is served. Peterson deep. Dug out by Ellison. Holton setting up Inga Turner. Off the block. Tipped out of bounds by Peterson. Point and side out to Bigfork. Nice job there by Turner. Alexis Sari back in for Turner in the front row. And Martins to serve for the Valkyries. Need 6 straight points here. Nice serve by Martins. Dug out Golly. Going to set up. Dug out by Martins on the spike by Patrick. Ellison drops it right down in the lap of Patrick. She can't quite handle it. Falls on the Anaconda side. And there's one right there. 24-21 now within 3. Callie Martins continues to serve for the Valkyries. Gets it deep. Dug out by Anaconda. Tomorrow's Golly. They're going to call a double hit there on Golly. And there's another point for Bigfork. They're within 2 at 24-22. That forces Anaconda to take a timeout. That is their second timeout. And none left here in the second game as Valkyries within 2 at 24-22 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. I'll be back with the conclusion of game number 2. Oh, Valkyries a little bit of a roll within 2 now. And Martins continue to serve for the Valkyries. They're down by 2, 24-22, but they need 4 more to get over the hump here in game number 2. Martins serve on the way, deep, dug out by DeMaros. Golly, setting up, spiked it into the net is Bailey. And now the Valkyries within 1, 24-23. So the Valkyries on the comeback, and Martins serving for Bigfork. Gets it across, nice serve. Dug out, Galley will dig it out. Spiking it deep is Bailey. And we're tied at 24. So you got to win by 2. And momentum on Bigfork's side. And way to fight back by the Valkyries. Martins serve on the way, deep. Dug out by Harris. Golly, looking. Johnson, dug out by Martins. Getting to the crosses, sorry. Drops it across as Ellison set her up. The Valkyries at game point 25-24. Martins to serve for Bigfork. This will be a big one if they can pull this off. Here, Martins to serve. Gets it across, nice serve. Dug out by Anaconda, Golly. Harris has to get it across, so a free ball for Bigfork. Sorry. Mackenzie Holton going to set up. Oh, too close to the net for Ellison. And she spikes it in the net, and we're tied at 25. Johnson to serve. Lunsford back in the front line for Anaconda, and we're tied at 25. So a golden moment right there for Bigfork. Way to fight back. Johnson dug out by Bigfork. Nice spike there by Ellison. Harris getting the crosses. Lunsford swings and drops it in front of Martins. Now game point for them, 26-25, and Johnson will serve again for Lady Copperheads. And a heck. Johnson deep. Zoe. Holton. Sorry, gets it across. Dug out by Harris. Golly, going to set up Lunsford. Dug out. Kenzie Holton setting up. And they'll call Bigfork in the net. And Anaconda takes the second one, 27-25. But I'll tell you, a great way to fight back by Bigfork. Down 21-16 and down game point. There was 24. They were down 24. It was game point for Anaconda pretty much. And they needed to run off 6 straight. It was down 24-20. And Bigfork able to actually run off 5 straight and had game point and couldn't quite finish it there. So down 2-0 here on the UPS Store scoreboard. I'll be back in a couple minutes with the third game, best of 5 here in Anaconda, Montana. Well, welcome back to Anaconda. Valkyries fought hard, down 24-20, able to get it 25 and had an opportunity at game point in that second one. They're down 2-0, so they're going to have to battle back and take one game at a time here. And Sari's up front, Alexis and Ariana, along with Mackenzie Holton. It looks like Ellison in the backcourt along with Zoe Albert and Callie Martins. Same starters, Harris, Damaros, Johnson, Harris. Court right, Bailey, Peterson, and Patrick for Anaconda. And they'll have the serve start game number 3. Dug out by Zoe Albert, Mackenzie Holton. They set up Ellison. Ellison spike. Cross court, dug out by Harris. Fighting for it for Bigfork. And out of bounds. The shot there by Anaconda, and side out point for Bigfork. Holton will go out. Newton and Jort will come in for the Valkyries here in game number 3, and Newton to serve for Bigfork. Newton serves it deep. Dug out by Damaros. Patrick gets it across is Bailey. Sets up. Ellison spikes it down. Dug out there by Damaros. Patrick. Harris will get it across. Martins for Bigfork. And Newton can't quite dig it out. And side out point for Anaconda. We're tied at 1. And serving is Peterson. Peterson. Dug out by Ellison. Newton can't quite get there on the pass. And 2-1 now, Anaconda. Peterson serving again for Anaconda. Martins digs it out. Newton sets up and spiked down there by Alexis Sari. Out of the middle on a nice spike there by Sari. Side out to Bigfork. We're tied at 2. Ellison serves deep. Dug out by Anaconda. Golly sets it back. Harris will have to get it across. Martin digs it out. Newton going to set up Sari, but too close to the net. And Spike, Bigfork digs it out, gets it across to Ellison. Golly going to set up Bailey. Bailey dug out by Ellison. Newton. Sari gets it across. Dug out by Damaros. Golly. Johnson. Right down the middle between two Bigfork players. And 3-2 side out to Anaconda. And I believe that's Johnson to serve for Anaconda, yes. Serves it right in the top of the net and side out to Bigfork as we're tied at 3. Alexis Sari to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep and just misses the end line. So not a lot of great serving here except for what Martins did in that run in the last, for Bigfork. And Bailey puts it right in the net at the bottom end, and she'll go out of the match. Replaced by the libero, which is Harris, and side out to Bigfork, tied at 4. That'll be Holton and back in for Bigfork, serving. Golly, going to set up Patrick. Patrick cross court out of play. And point for Bigfork as they leave 5-4 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Turner in the game as well. Johnson digs it out the serve. Golly, Johnson spikes it across, dug out by Ellison. Double hit called on Bigfork. And side out to Anaconda, tied at 5. Patrick to serve. Serves it deep. Martins. Holton. Zoe drops it across. Anaconda digs it out. Lunsford spikes it off the block of Turner. And point for Anaconda, 6-5. We play these to 25 in the first 4 games. Service by Patrick, dug out. Ellison gets it across. Patrick, dug out by Bigfork, but falls on the Bigfork side off the hands of Albert. And point for Anaconda, 7-5. Patrick serving. Martins digs it out. Holton looking to set up. Zoe Albert, dug out by Harris. Patrick. Harris has to get it back across. Turner. Holton going to set up Turner. Turner going to spike it down. Saved by Patrick. Harris. And Patrick will get it across for Anaconda. Dug out by Martins for Bigfork. Holton sets up Inga Turner again. This time Turner didn't get all of it, but knocks it down in front of Patrick. And a point side out for Bigfork. Zoe Albert to serve for the Valkyries. Zoe served deep. Dug out by Courtright. Harris gets it back across. Martins. Holton. Martins gets it back. Dug out for Bigfork. Turner. Up. And spiked down in the middle there by Courtright for Anaconda. And point for the Lady Copperheads. Side out. They lead 8-6. And Lunsford, that's Manaya to serve for Anaconda. Serves it, dug out by, off the hands, off the side, up in the stands, off of Ellison. And the Valkyries trail 9-6 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard, and they'll take a timeout here in Anaconda, and I'll be back with you in about 1 minute. All right, we're back in Memorial Gym, the Snake Pit here in Anaconda. They lead 9-6 in the third game, best of 5. They won the first 2, and Lunsford to serve for Anaconda. Dug out by Ellison. Back set, Inga Turner. Spike is long on the set by Holton, and point 10-6 for Anaconda. Lunsford serves again. This time too deep off the back line and side out to Bigfork 10-7. Martins, who had a nice job serving at the end of that last game, game number 2, now will serve for Bigfork. Gets it across. Harris digs it out. Patrick setting up Johnson. Johnson spikes it out. Dug out by Martins. Mackenzie Holton. Sorry, it's it deep. Demaros. Patrick. Going to set up Peterson, dug out by Bigfork, but out of bounds off the hands of Ariana Sari as she digs out the spike there by Anaconda. 11-7 side out as Harris to serve for the Lady Copperheads. From the left side, serves it deep. Zoe Albert, Mackenzie Holton setting up. Blocked. Dug out by Bigfork. Cross. Johnson, Patrick gets it to Bailey. Bailey hits it long on the spike, right down the middle, and out of bounds. Side out to Bigfork as Newton and Jort come back in, and Newton to serve for the Valkyries, trailing by 3, 11-8. Newton served deep, dug out by Harris. Patrick going to set up Peterson. Back across, Newton, back. Peterson digs it out. Set up Johnson. Johnson gets it across. Dug out by Newton. Zoe Albert crossed by Jort. Dug out to Morals. Patrick going to set up. Blocked Bailey's spike is blocked. Dug out by Anaconda, get it across. Zoe Albert, Newton gonna set it up. And Alexis Sari mishits it. And 12-8 as Peterson will serve for Anaconda. Deep, dug out by Ellison. Newton sets up Sari. Sari's off the block, drops on Anaconda's side of Bailey. And point side out to Bigfork, 12-9. They get within 3, can't quite get over that hump. And Ellison is served for Bigfork. Deep, Harris digs it out. Golly. Johnson, back deep, Martins. Newton, blocked. Is Zoe Albert over there by Anaconda, and 13-9 with Lady Copperheads. Johnson is served. Dug out, crossed by Bigfork. Hunseford dinks it. Dug out by Zoe Albert. Newton gonna set up Sari. Sari blocked by Bailey on the spike. Drops on Bigfork side, 14-9. The Valkyries trailing by 5 now. Johnson served deep. Martins digs it out. Newton dropped across by Sari. Galley will dig it out. Back across to Bigfork. Sari mistimes her jump. Alexis, that is. Can't quite get to it. Drops on the Bigfork side, 15-9. Lady Copperheads lead by 6. Johnson deep. Martins digs it out. Newton sets up Jort. Jort into Bailey. Bailey lifts the ball. So a point for Bigfork. Side out 15-10. Alexis Sari as serving for Bigfork. Serves it into the net. As back in the game, Martins, the libero. Also, number 1 is Inga Turner. Bailey to serve. Serves it deep for Anaconda. Out of play. Bounces off the back wall, back inside. And side out point for Bigfork. Ariana Sari and Mackenzie Holton. And Holton to serve for Bigfork. Back in the ball game, or in the match, if you will. Here goes Mackenzie on the serve, deep. They got by Johnson. Golly. Spike blocked by Turner. Cross by Golly, or Patrick. Spike set up. Cross. Zoe Albert. Dug out by Ellis on the spike for Anaconda. And Zoe swings it, but she was in the net. And side out point for Anaconda, 17-11. Looks like Patrick to serve for Anaconda. And Patrick right in the net, turns it back over to Bigfork. And serving is Zoe Albert for the Valkyries. Albert deep. Dug out by Johnson. Patrick setting up Peterson. Peterson off the block. And point for Anaconda, 18-12. And Bigfork will take their final timeout here in game number 3 as Ariel Stolnak, the head coach, trying to talk to her players and get them in the right position. So we're back with more of game number 3. Okay, we're back here in Anaconda. They're serving is Mania Lunsford. They're up 18-12, up by 6, up 2-0 in the best of 5. And Bigfork needs to get something done right here. Lunsford, dug out by Martins. Holton hits it back, and Albert can't quite get to it. And point 19-12 for Anaconda. Martins digs out the serve. Holton gonna set it up. Drops it across. And Harris tries to dive, can't dig it out. And a point side out to Bigfork. And Alexis Sari will come back in for Turner on the front line, and Martin to serve for Bigfork. Serves deep, dug out by Harris. Patrick dinks it across and out of bounds on the far side, and a point for Bigfork, 19-14 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Martins to serve, continuing. Drops it across. Harris has to dig it out. Patrick sets up Johnson. Johnson spikes it across and drops it on the Bigfork side. And 20-14. Side out to Anaconda. And Harris, the libero, will serve for the Lady Copperheads. So serve from the left side. Dug out by Zoe Albert. Mackenzie Holton. Sorry hits it deep. Dug out by DeMaros. Harris. And yeah, you could see that, a double hit right there by Peterson. And side out point for Bigfork. Newton and Jort coming back in, replacing Ariana Sari and Holton. And Newton will serve for Bigfork. Peterson comes out. And 16, Ashley Mitchell in for Anaconda. Service, nice serve there by Newton. Dug out by Patrick. Across by DeMoros. Zoe Albert dives for it, can't quite come up with it. And side out to Anaconda as they lead 21-15. And Peterson will come back in for Mitchell. And Peterson to serve for Anaconda. Serve deep. Martins digs it out. Newton. Sorry. Hits it over the end line. And a point, 22-15. Substitution for Anaconda, 8. Madison King will come in for Bailey. And Peterson to serve. Peterson serve. Dug out by Ellison. Newton setting up Sari. Sari spikes it off the block. Dug out by Albert. Newton going to set up Sari again. Digs it deep. Peterson digs it out. Patrick. Harris will have to hit it across. Dug out by Martins. Newton. Doesn't get it across. Point for Anaconda, 23-15 here in game number 3, best of 5. Peterson serve on the way. Martins digs it out. Newton. Ellison back. Dug out by Peterson. Patrick setting up Johnson. Johnson across. Dug out by Martinson. Newton going to set up Sari. Sari spikes it out of bounds. Game and match point for Anaconda, 24-15. And Peterson to serve. Martins digs it out. Newton. Martins back deep, dug out by DeMaros. Johnson spike, dug out by Martins. Newton for Bigfork. Spiking down is from the backcourt by Zoe Albert. And a nice spike from the back by Albert. 24-16. And Ellison to serve. They need to go on a roll and get back in this one. Dug out by DeMaros. Golly. Johnson into the net. One at a time, they say. One at a time. 24-17. A little bit bigger hole to dig in this one. Nice serve by Ellison. Dug out by Harris. Patrick gets it across. Martins Newton. Cross dug out by Johnson. Harris. Johnson cross court. Dug out by Albert. Newton going to set up. And spiked down there by Alexis Sari. 24-18. We're going to have a repeat of the second game. And King will come out and Bailey back in for Anaconda. Service on the way. Dug out by Anaconda. And dropped on a block by Jort. And a spike attempt by Bailey. And the Valkyries now within 5, 24-19. They were down by 9. At 24-15, now they're back within 5. At 24-19, Anaconda forced to take a timeout here as they were rolling here in the third game. So Bigfork needs to continue to serve, and that's key to that. Getting it across, getting it in, giving himself a chance here like they did in game number 2. So coach for Anaconda brings back in one of their starters. Bailey up front. They were trying to close that one out. And momentum on Bigfork's side right now. And Ellison to serve. Still game and match point for Anaconda. And Ellison serve on the way, drops it across. Dug out by DeMoros. DeMoros hits it out of bounds. And the Valkyries within 4 at 24-20. So they're not giving up. They keep fighting. Ellison serve on the way. Dug out by Johnson. Golly. Johnson spikes it across. Dug up by Ellison. Newton. Dropping it across is Zoe Albert over the block. Within 3 now, 24-21. Once down by 9, within 3. 6 straight points by Bigfork. Ellison on the way. Serve, Johnson, Golly. Going to set up Patrick. Dug out by Bigfork. And they're going to call a lift on Bigfork to end the match on the spike. And 25-21 in game number 3. And on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. So the Valkyries take it on the chin. They fought gallantly in both the second and third. Had a chance to win that first one. Losing that 25-20. So they lose 25-20, 27-25, and 25-21. But got down both a second. It was game point for a long time. 24-20 in game number 2. Actually had a chance. They went up 25-24. Had a chance to win it. The bad pass in the net. Ellison couldn't handle it. That would have won game number 2. And then game number 3. Hey, down 24-19 by 9. They battle back 6 straight points and lose 25-21. So a hard-fought effort by the Valkyries. And we'll have the Valkyries again in action here this afternoon. We'll head to Deer Lodge. They're gonna go get changed, and I'll wrap things up here. As they lose one in 3-0, we'll take on Deer Lodge, the Lady Wardens. Scheduled for a 5:30 first serve, 5:15 pregame over in Deer Lodge. Get some lunch and be heading that way shortly. Thanks for joining us on the broadcast. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows. The final here from Anaconda. The Valkyries lose this one 3-0, but battled hard today and a lot to learn by Bigfork. Thank you and good afternoon. We'll see you in, let me see, it's 1:30. I'll talk to you in about 4 hours with the match between the Valkyries and the Lady Wardens coming up from Deer Lodge. Thank you and good afternoon from Anaconda.